All right, everyone. Looks like a few different trade rumors and potential trade updates on hoopsrumors.com, and just kind of reading through the articles to see exactly what's going on. So we're going to touch base on Jae Crowder, the Wizards, John Collins, Cam Reddish, the Lakers, the Raptors, Trey Young, DeMar DeRozan, Jordan Clarkson, Christian Wood, and maybe a few others. But just looking into it right now, it looks like the Bucks, the Heat, and the Hawks have all been linked to Jae Crowder a few times, and they are widely regarded as the top suitors. And the Wizards recently made an offer for Jae Crowder as well. Now, Wizards forward Rui Hachimura, he's a restricted free agent in the summer, who is set to return tonight from his ankle injury, and he was believed to be a part of the trade package. However, the Suns declined, and they said they wanted to look for a certifiable starter in exchange for Crowder. Now, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, and he had previously identified the Wizards as a potential Crowder suitor, and he noted that Hachimura could be a trade candidate. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen there. Now, to touch on the topic of the Hawks, they have, quote-unquote, widened the scope of their trade talks involving John Collins. And while it seems to indicate that Atlanta will eventually find a suitable deal for Collins, the thing is that his size and length of his contract, which is about $102 million over 4 years, and plus, his limited role and declining production this season have made things a little bit difficult thus far to find a trade partner for the veteran power forward. Touching on the Lakers, now, Lakers are intrigued by the Knicks' Cam Reddish, and they do view him as a youthful reclamation project, so it's going to be something that they're going to have to really work on with him, but they think he is insertable into at least the bench lineup. Now, in the past seasons with Malik Monk, and then this season with Lonnie Walker, you never know. People like Cam Reddish could ultimately change in a bigger market, but we do know that the Knicks are looking for a protected first-round pick for Cam Reddish. Now, that asking price, in my opinion, is quite a lot. However, it is expected to dip during the time where Reddish will probably no longer be in New York's rotation. Now, Reddish will be a restricted free agent in the summer if he's extended a qualifying offer. Now, moving forward with the Raptors. Now, there are a few analysts who believe that the Raptors should make moves to reset their roster ahead of the trade deadline. There have been a few that actually have noted that Toronto's half-court offense has been very poor and that their defense has been much worse than expected compared to last season. Now, the Raptors have some very valuable players, so they don't need to do a full teardown and rebuild, but it is sort of evident that things aren't working with the current group of guys that they have. They're not terrible by any means, but a few changes could really go a long way, and I know Siakam had a 50-plus point game last night, which was absolutely incredible. But if you surround pieces with him and Van Vliet, I think you could go a long way. Now let's touch on Trey Young. This is a big topic source right now, which is quite astonishing because at the time, Atlanta should have just kept Luka Doncic and not traded for Trey Young and a pick, because clearly Luka is an insane player. Trey Young is obviously insane as well, but just the idea of trading your number one star player because things aren't exactly where you want them to be in Atlanta, it's kind of sad, to say the least. So, rival executives believe that Trey Young could be the next star player to make a trade request if the Hawks don't make inroads in the playoffs. Now, after reaching the Eastern Conference Finals in 2020-2021 as the number 5 seed, Atlanta was eliminated by Miami in the first round of last year's playoffs as the number 8 seed. Now, Chris Haynes, he writes that Trey Young encouraged Atlanta's front office to deal for DeJounte Murray in the offseason, but their partnership has been a little bit shaky thus far, with the Hawks currently sitting at a 16-16 record and currently at the 9th seed in the East. Now, Young is under contract through at least 2025 and 2026. He does have a player option the year after that, and after signing a maximum salary rookie scale extension in the 2021 offseason, he seemingly wouldn't have much leverage if he does request a trade down the line. It also wouldn't exactly be a good look from an optics standpoint, considering that he did push for the DeJounte Murray acquisition. Now, the Hawks recently made a major change to their top basketball operations department with the former president, Travis Schlenk moving into a role as a senior advisor, and general manager Landry Fields taking his place as the head of basketball operations. Now, this could be a good thing. We're not exactly sure, but according to Haynes, Fields had met with Trey Young, and I guess they do it relatively often, and they seem to have a really good, or rather great, relationship. So maybe that might make things a little bit different. Who knows? But if Trey Young's happy, maybe he won't leave. They just might have to get better pieces to surround him with in Atlanta moving forward. Now, to close off in Atlanta, there's been some tension, rumor, things going on between Young and their head coach, Nate McMillan. Now, Haynes did state that Landry Fields has ownership's green light to upgrade the roster, but so far they haven't found any takers for the John Collins mention that I did. We'll see if John Collins is gone and if Nate McMillan is potentially gone. Now let's talk about DeMar DeRozan, Chicago Bulls. Now, he is going to earn $28.6 million next season, and that is in the final year of his contract. Now, similar to the Hawks, the Bulls have dealt with their own on-court dysfunction, currently sitting with a 13-18 record at the number 11 seed in the East. The Bulls were number 6 seed last season after finishing 46 wins, 36 losses, but they did get eliminated the first round of the playoffs by Milwaukee. So they'd have to go 33 wins, 18 losses the rest of the way just to match the mark from last year, which, to be honest with you, it seems relatively improbable at the moment. Now, Haynes says that playing on an expiring deal is a non-starter for the most high-caliber players and suggests that DeRozan is likely to seek an extension or ask out of the Bulls if they don't happen to improve. However, DeMar DeRozan did just enter free agency in the 2021 offseason after playing on an expiring contract with the San Antonio Spurs. And of course, you guys know he was loyal with Toronto, so it's kind of unclear if this report is just speculation from Haynes or if it's something that DeMar DeRozan really is actually considering for the leave. Of course, as a Lakers fan, I would love to have DeMar DeRozan on our team, and hopefully at not such a crazy cost of that $28 million. All right, let's touch base on Jordan Clarkson. Now, his agents are engaged in contract extension talks with the Jazz. However, it's not currently a lock that the new deal is going to get signed with Clarkson. He might just go into free agency instead. Of course, that would require him to turn down his $14.3 million option for the 2023-2024 season. But a lot of reporters last month had mentioned that Clarkson was most likely to go ahead and extend a trade with the Jazz. I mean, he is really good with the team, so I would be surprised if they just let him go. I don't know if they want to necessarily increase his salary that much, but the guy's a six-man of the year candidate, if not already there. I think they should just go ahead and give it to him because it's hard to get depth in the league right now. And we're going to go ahead and finish off today's video with the Mavericks and Christian Wood. Now, the Mavericks have not made Christian Wood available in trade talks, but according to Haynes and some rival teams, they do believe that that change might happen soon. It is noted that Woods is playing on a $14.3 million expiring deal and is eligible for a 4-year, $77 million extension in a few days from today. But his fit in Dallas hasn't been exactly what either side has been hoping for. Woods' points, rebounds, and minutes are down from the past couple of seasons, and he has only started 4 of the 29 games that the Mavericks have played this season. Jason Kidd, the coach, citing defensive concerns as the reason for the big man's somewhat reduced role. So these are pretty much all of the trade updates that have been happening around the league. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if there is a trade that you want to see happen. Let me know if you have some trade ideas that you think would work out nicely for different teams. I love to collect people's feedback and probably put it out there so that more people can hear. But more videos coming out soon. Thanks for listening.